me. I'm a chicken on the internet. But today we're going to be talking about, I like to talk about crypto businesses and how they operate. I mean, obviously I run one, but it's a way to make something sustainable in this space, right? So you've got to be able to deliver value to people, and people have got to be able to value that as something that they actually want. Bill Gates didn't get rich by stealing candy from babies. He got rich by people actually buying a product which they want. So that's something to keep in mind, right? You've got to build something that people want. So one of those companies we're going to talk a little bit about today is called Bloomberg. And what that word means to a lot of people can be a lot of different things. And it's kind of a boring tradfi. We're not talking about smart contract, crazy options trading, perp, dexes. We're not talking about that. But we're going to be talking about a lot of cool, fun things. So let's see if my clicker works. I can click away. There's a company that does a few things. So when we are talking about, let's keep going. When we're talking about Bloomberg, what is it? It's a giant financial media organization in TV and print, right? We have the Bloomberg TV. They do like 24/7 coverage, maybe, something like that. But they're known as a financial media organization. They're usually the first to break the news in financial media. So that's probably their distribution mechanism of how they get the word out there in the financial world. The core product as well of what they sell is a thing called a terminal, the Bloomberg terminal. This is how the world trades. Everyone who works in an investment bank or any sort of business like that, brokerage and so on, a lot of them have access to a thing called a Bloomberg terminal. And a Bloomberg terminal is how people do trades. So if you're in a bank, this is what people are using. So that's also a really core part of their business. Let's do clickety-click. They also do data and research. So data and research, it's people, analysts, they probably, of all the financial analyst places that people work at, I mean, Bloomberg's probably one of the core important ones that people listen to. And they also do IRL events. They do webinars and all these sorts of things. So good for them. But they are also a multi-billion-dollar market cap business. And that's essentially what we're trying to do at Step. So what we're trying to do at Step, this conference is an example. Actually, we at Step, we started as a portfolio dashboard. We're providing data. You connect your wallet, and you're able to see all the different positions of your wallet. We've been one of the most active apps in Solana since forever. So 330,000 monthly active users. It usually goes wallets, and then maybe a few dexes. And then it's usually us, so it's usually top 5, something along those lines. But Step, the product, very important. That's our core product. So that's the data side of things. We also have Solana Allstars. Solana Allstars, we've got a lot of Allstars in the audience. Put your hand up if you're a Solana Allstar person. We've got a lot of the people coming here today from Solana Allstars. So that's really cool. But 3 countries, 30+ cities, 20,000 attendees, 3,000 plus people monthly. I mean, people get excited about Solana Breakpoint once a year. Breakpoint gets about 3,000 attendees. Awesome. We get 3,000 a month at our meetups. And that's growing at a clip of like 10 to 15%. So if we're talking about places that people can go to onboard a lot more people into the Solana ecosystem, this is what we're solving for. So Allstars is all about distribution. It's about education. During the bear market, I might just phrase this, a lot of DeFi apps out there, they were lucky if they had 50 users. I actually know of some. And look, it kind of sucks because in a bear market, number go down, not as many eyes on the product, and there's nothing too much that you can do about that. But in a bull market, a lot of the time, the situation changes. But in a bull market, you get a lot of people shouting and going, hey, look at my thing. Look at me. Talk about my product. And you get this proliferation of a lot of different products. So it's much harder to cut through and actually get your product in front of real people. So what we do at Allstars is we also have an amazing bunch of, I think, about 11 or so sponsors who are part of the Allstars program and getting their products into the educational content as well. And we're teaching people about trading on DEXs, downloading wallets, NFT platforms and what they can do there and how to mint and so on. So a lot of these different topics are what we cover at Allstars. That's very important. Step I mentioned before, something, I think that number's 3.5 million users, is maybe closer to 4 at the moment. 330K monthly active users, that's great. It's a place, ideally at Step, our core product, the data product, we want it to be the front page of Solana. So being the front page means that it's a place that you have open on your browser every day. It's a tab you never close, and that's what we want to do at Step. So data side of things. We also have Solana Floor. That's another part of our brand. So when I spoke before about Bloomberg and how they have TV and media, right? TV and print media, this is our version of that. So about 2 years ago, by the way, I think we're the only company in Solana that's done 2 acquisitions. Maybe Sharky, I think someone told me that they did some as well, but anyway, 2 acquisitions. One of our acquisitions 2 years ago was Solana Floor. Solana Floor was the #1 NFT analytics platform. Still is, by the way. We acquired it because we're like, yo, we don't know anything about this NFT stuff. We need to have a foot in the door, and at Step, we covered a lot of the DeFi things. So that was important to us, but in order to spin up, I mean, who are we going to hire? You can't just hire people like that. So anyway, we acquired Solana Floor, but what happened during that journey was, a lot of people follow Solana Floor, they're really engaged, and it's a different type of user than what we had at Step. NFT people, basically. So it's a brand that we shouldn't just, go away with and get rid of. We wanted to keep it. We wanted to keep the brand intact. And then it sort of dawned on us that, you know what, actually we want to start serving more content, and we want to have a strong community around that content. So we made it a news platform. So Solana Floor is Solana's #1 news platform. It only exclusively focuses on Solana. So that's also a very important thing for us. There's other crypto news publications out there. We've got a lot of great publications. The Defiant is also helping us out with streaming. There's a lot of crypto publications that focus on the entire sector. That's great. Our niche in this sort of world is just focused on Solana. So yeah, 15 million weekly impressions. I think that number, it's over the last couple of months, additive, something along that, 500K users and so on. So 2 to 3x growth in the next 12 months is what we're targeting. It's going really well. If you tune in to the feed from Solana Floor, it's really awesome. So assemble like Voltron. This sounded cooler when I wrote it the other day. But essentially, we have all these different parts of the business, right? So we got Step, it's about the data. We got Solana Floor, it's about the news. We got Crossroads, awesome. That's about the IRL conferences. We got Allstars, which is the meetups every other couple of weeks in 30 different cities around the world. By the way, those cities, they have meetups in them every 2.5 weeks. So it's a consistency, right? It's all very well to do one meetup once a year and then go, right, job's done, see you next year. But to actually do it consistently every 2 weeks, that's how you get power users. We also have Step Data Insights. This is our research arm. And the next billion, you'll see me talking on podcasts. And we've actually done some cool stuff. We did a documentary as well that you might like. So steps forward and back. Essentially, PMF for us is a never-ending journey. And by that, I mean that at Step, we had a product. It did data. And we were like, well, what do we do next? How do we get more users? It was the depths of the bear market. SBF had wrecked everyone. Things were blowing up all over the place. There's like grenades falling down. And we were like, what can we do next to try and get some traction with people? So that's why we went down the path of media and IRL events. But it also means that maybe there's some rabbit holes that aren't worth pursuing. And we have pursued a lot of those rabbit holes. We've spent 6 months building out something that nobody uses and wasting sort of time and effort doing that, thinking that something is going to go somewhere where it actually doesn't at the end of the day. But you know what? You have to experiment. You have to come up with something. The world is bigger than the English-speaking audience. This is an important one as well. So we have the simultaneous translations. If you don't already, or if you're listening through a friend's headset in Turkish, please go out the front and get one. We'll have 300 more tomorrow, by the way, because we need more. And so yes, basically, a lot of Solana content is focused on English. Now that's kind of unfortunate, but it means that the world is big out there. We have Turkey with 30 million crypto users. Crazy, that's insane. That's a huge audience, right? How much Solana content is out there in Turkish? Not enough is the answer. What about Vietnam in Vietnamese? What about, I don't know, Thai? What about all sorts of different languages around the world? Portuguese, Spanish, whatever it might be. Generally, a lot of the content, and maybe that's because obviously the founding team, US-based, English speakers, and so on, so it makes sense. But in order to be a global product that's relevant for the world, we need content in languages more than just English. So that's something also that we're rolling out very soon. But it's a realization that we've had in building our product, and maybe for people building out there right now in the audience. If you're building a product and you're only focusing on English users, I mean, how many English speakers are there? 1.8 billion? Something like that? 2 billion maybe? Okay, cool, that's 1/3, 33% market share, max potential. What about the 66%? So definitely, I think focused on that. Talking about focus, key strengths. For us, we have to keep reminding ourselves with all these different brands going on. Our key strengths are data, community building, IRL events, news media. But the core product at the end of the day that brings in a lot of eyes to Step is the dashboard. And that's why we're building a lot of analytics and data things, APIs, and stuff like that. So we just need to keep focused on our key strengths. And that's a struggle. For all the people out there that are building their own startups, it is a struggle, especially when, okay, meme coin hype comes and everyone's trading dogs with hats and all these sorts of things and making a squillion, billion, bajillion dollars. You're kind of thinking, well, maybe I should just make a dog with a hat and then I can get $10 million tomorrow to build my company. But unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. But you need to keep trying new things, and if it doesn't work, keep at it. So another thing is oftenly it's dependent on the crypto market. We've spoken a little bit here today from different people that when number goes up, everyone's happy. Number goes up, yay, everyone's rich. When number goes down, everyone's poor, we're wrecked again. But that also, for crypto businesses, it's quite pertinent because crypto businesses can go minus 95% in terms of number of users during a bear market. And I mean, the guy at the end of the road that's selling the shoes, people are always going to buy shoes, or they're going to go to the candy store and buy candy. It's generally not too dependent on market cycles like crypto, but if you're selling a crypto product, you can literally lose 95% of your users in the space of a week, which is pretty crazy. But of course, the flip side of that is that you can also gain 500% of your users in a week as well. So, double-edged sword there. But the next step, essentially 2024, we're focused on scaling Allstars and Crossroads. Crossroads this year is 3x last year, 3 times bigger in kind of every way. So awesome, thank you very much. Crossroads will be coming to more countries and cities around the world. I don't know if we've... Oh, maybe. Okay, Sierra Leone over here, let's go. Crossroads is going to be in more places, in more cities around the world. We want to expand it. We want to essentially have a Crossroads in every continent. Absolutely. That's the plan. Allstars as well. It's growing at a rapid rate. That's the way that we can onboard. By the way, this isn't really something that's crazy that we've thought up. Binance has Binance Angels, and they've onboarded, I think, 1.7 million people to date through these IRL meetups. And that's why, it's one of the reasons that whatever country you are in the world, there's like 120 countries of which Binance is #1 in. Why are they #1? often it's because they have these Binance Angels meetups, and they have essentially, this is people's first introduction to crypto. It's this centralized exchange that's a website with an email and a password, and that's what people think crypto is. So we need to get out there, and we need to show them that actually, if you onboard into the decentralized world, you don't have to store your passwords with some custodian. You don't have to give your ownership of your assets to someone else. You can keep full control of all of your assets. So that's absolutely what we want to do. But Allstars is a very important component of that. We have the Step Finance V3 dashboard. We have some of the Step team over here. I think some of the crew is elsewhere, scattered throughout the audience. We've got some hands up over there. But the V3 dashboard is going to be really awesome. It's going to be a really cool product. Essentially, we want to bring all of this together in the Step product. So that means the news, that means the event stuff, that means better tracking and insights, protocol-specific insights. That's all coming soon and under active development right now. So that's going to be really cool. We also have the Step DeFi API. For those in the audience, this has been something much requested. So Step is uniquely positioned in the Solana ecosystem, I guess, to have all of the DeFi data for everything, because we have to integrate everything. When you see an integration of a Radium LP or a Zeta perp position or a Tensor bid or something like that, we've done custom bespoke integrations with every single one of those contracts. Oh, Magic Eden? Okay, Magic Eden has 7 versions of contracts. We're having to integrate all of them, right? It's been a hard slog, but it's also something that for us, when we do a new integration, there's no payoff for that. We spend tens of thousands of dollars on an integration. Do we get tens of thousands of dollars for adding a new protocol? No. But if we add no protocols, we get nothing. So it's kind of like we have to do it, right, in order to get anything. It's kind of, you don't come to Step and you see 53% of your portfolio. It might as well be 0. So you actually have to go there and see as close as we can get to 100%, and that's an ongoing battle. But it means that we want to expose this data to other people. So if you're a wallet out there, if you're an app, if you're building something cool, if you've partake in any of the Solana hackathons, we want to give you the Step DeFi API. Come and talk to us. Not quite ready just yet, but we're going to be starting testing of that very, very soon. And then you'll be able to get any positional data on any wallet address on the chain, and it all comes from our very complex infrastructure, which that guy over there with the hat, Dana, you should go and talk to him about indexing and all these sorts of things. Solana Floor, we want to grow the team. We're looking for journalists. We're looking for people that are good at content writing. We want to grow that into, as we said, the Bloomberg of Solana. We want to be writing quality content. So definitely, wherever you are in the world, does not matter. We've done many DAO incentives as well, where people have submitted content from all around the world. I think at season 1 of our DAO in Step, we had 2,000 submissions a week or something like that, some crazy number, which I think is more than any other DAO combined on Solana as well. In terms of individual payouts, I think it was 253 payouts per week, something like that. So, okay, a lot of people are submitting multiple times for multiple different bounties, but pretty huge numbers, right? Season 2 is going to be run in quite a different way, because actually scaling that is super, super, super hard. Yeah, essentially, content creators, we want to hear from you. That's what Solana Floor wants to do. And yeah, that's Step. I go back to the concept of a Bloomberg for Solana. A Bloomberg is a business which has a lot of different verticals. They do news, they do data, they do trading terminals, they do research, they do IRL events. This is what we at Step are trying to do. And yeah, look, thank you so much for being here. And it's been an awesome ride, and there's still much to learn. But yeah, enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you.